Hi everyone, welcome to the Path of the Awenydd. I'm your big bad wolf of astrology, Blythe Drug, for your weekly forecast for the 26th of October to the 1st of November. This week we're going to discuss the trining of Venus to Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, which is counterbalancing the effects of Mars squaring those planets. And we also have Mercury squaring those planets as well. We'll also talk about how Mercury retrograde is going backwards into Libra, while Venus is also moving forward into Libra. So we'll have a look at those right after this. Hi Virgo, welcome to your weekly forecast for the 26th of October through the 1st of November. We start the week here with Venus being in our first house of self-expression, our personality, outer personality, how people see us when they first meet us, our immediate environment. And so people are sort of seeing that we're feeling good about ourselves, we're exuding sensuality, and we're being self-confidence, and all the self-assertiveness, and we have good self-esteem basically, coming up from the beginning of this week. Um, this is trining up to two planets in our fifth house of self-expression, creativity, and romantic interest. Saturn and Pluto being in here. Um, so this added sensuality and this added self-confidence is making it good for us to be able to connect with our romantic interests, our romantic partners at this time. Uh, the Venus trine Saturn comes with feeling responsibility for a loved one, and you we know what to expect from them, and it's a feel good factor. There's maybe some limits. Uh, Saturn's all about limits and time restraints, or any kind of restraints. So this could mean that maybe we don't get to spend as much time with them as we would like, but we know how to work with this, and we're basically loving life in this sector at the moment, because we got three powerful planets in there in our creative space, and it's making us feel more expansive and everything. We also have the Venus turning up to Pluto as well, which means that there's more intense feelings for this sector, whether it's a romantic interest or whether it's our being able to express ourselves creatively. So this is adding to this higher self confidence, and being more sure about ourselves at the moment. And we also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in our third house of communications, siblings, neighbors, and local community, and also learning. Um, So we have now a more focus on communicating effectively with others. There could be some plans maybe for a short journey of some kind as well. Just make sure that any short journeys with Mercury retrograde, there could be some disruptions with that. So just make sure to plan ahead, and make sure any kind of uh, that you have a fallback plan as well in those cases. These are opposite Uranus at the moment. Mercury has been opposite Uranus for a couple of weeks now, so this is starting to end on that. But we've got that Sun Uranus opposition coming into effect later on at the end of the week. Uranus being in our ninth house of uh, greater travel, exploration, um, being able to explore our environment. Um, it's also about relocation as well. So that small trip could turn into a bigger trip, or you're looking more further afield. Then this opposition it means that there's a decision to be made, or we're we're fighting between two options here, and we just need to find the balance for that. So we've got this question of whether to stay in our local area or move to a further afield, and we just need to find a balance there. Maybe we can move out in the country to get where we want from some place that we think further afield would be fine, or it could do, it could do us what good to maybe go into a new environment. It just means we lose those close contacts, but we can build those up again. So that's something to think about this week as well. That, like I said, that opposition comes to exact on Saturday, which we'll talk about later as well. Uh, with this fifth house, we also have a sextile in our seventh house of partnerships with Neptune, representing our ideal, our dream, our dream partner, as you would. So there could be this feeling of being in a place in our um, romantic part. Yeah, no, yes, our romantic liaison. As I don't know how the else to word it. I mean, this casual relationship that we're enjoying at the moment could maybe we could be seeing it as a more stable relationship, and maybe taking it to the next level. And this is also coming because we are feeling more sensual, more self-confident about ourselves, and having that feel-good factor, and it's causing us to be more confident, and making and for us to be able to express our love a bit better, which is having knock-on effect with our current romantic relationships, which could be, taking that up to the next level. We do have here the Mars in the eighth house of joint finances and debts and um, loans and sexuality and and losing yourself into that mix, uh, squaring up to Jupiter in our creative house, which could mean that this partnership there could be some kind of financial struggle, or there's a little blip. You just need to work out the finances, maybe, or maybe we're trying to overdo it and trying to push maybe too much, and maybe we're trying to get into a space where we're not ready to go to at the moment, especially with regards to maybe a more committed relationship, that to do with more committed financial relationship, having to do maybe a joint bank account or a mortgage or something like, or a joint purchase of some kind that's quite big. So just be aware of that. That's coming into effect. Uh, and that's the beginning of the week. And then as we move on, we can see that Mercury now is out of the opposition of Uranus, and now is squared to Saturn in our fifth house of romantic interest, and fifth house is about what we love to do, what we enjoy doing, creativity, creatively. It could be hobbies, art, and something to do, things that we do are like children, and also, like I said, romantic interests that we have. This square um, implies that there's going to be some miscommunication going on, a disruption in communicating with this other person. Um, some negative feelings towards something regarding that. Maybe we're not feeling that we can express ourselves with this person at this time, or there's something stopping us from being able to express ourselves, which could be having a knock-on effect of the miscommunication. We're not being able to get out our feelings, being able to express ourselves, and this could lead to some verbal arguments as well. So we have that, but we still have the Venus trine Saturn here, so we still have that charm that we can exude, and especially with us at the moment, with it being in our first house. So we can soften the blow a bit and just make sure that um, just to keep that communication open with that other person. If if it's to do with another person, and use that charm and natural wit that we've got at the moment, which will help smooth things over. Further along, on Wednesday, we've got Mercury moving back into Libra in its retrograde state, which means that we are rethinking our finances. We're having a closer, maybe a rethink of how we are, what we're having a rethink of what we value at this moment in this time, in this retrograde space. And again, this could be a knockoff of the miscommunication with the romantic interest, or miscommunication with something to do with your creativity, your hobbies, or your creative expressions. But we are learning to, we're thinking back on what we've valued in the past so that we can figure out what we value now in the present, and how this can help us in the future. And obviously we've got Venus moving into Libra as well, which is really good because she rules Venus. Venus rules Libra, and so her power in this house and in this sign sort of amplifies. So we are feeling really good about the energy there. We're loving the finer things in life. We've got that maybe coming into a little bit of extra personal cash or something like that, which makes us be able to feel a bit more secure in our financial places, and a bit more we can afford to buy the nicer things that we enjoy looking at. Again, this is the trine up to Jupiter, and yes, just make sure that I've lost my train of thought. Sorry. Yes, okay, so we carry on now. So that was Wednesday. So we carry on to Thursday, and we've got Mercury squaring up to Pluto. Now this could represent some kind of we're thinking of some kind of suspicious activity, or there's some mistrust going on between us and possibly this romantic partner that we've got, or or we're mistrusting ourselves. It could be because this is a personal value, and it's our self-expression, our creative side. We could be mistrusting ourselves in what we are valuing and how we're expressing that. So just be careful with that. What we think isn't always the actuality of a situation, especially with Mercury retrograde. We tend to not have all the information, or the information is skewed. So our minds tend to fill in the blanks. Our imagination just starts running wild. So just make sure that you take things slow in this area, and that you are that you have all the information before you start making any decisions, or start communicating with other people. And if you do communicate with other people, make sure that you do it in a very diplomatic way. Okay, and so yes, and then we keep moving forward. We lose the trine with Venus, and we lose the sextile of Neptune. So, and we gain a square with Mercury squaring up to Jupiter. And this could be some kind of information overload. You're thinking too big, too fast. Maybe we're in such a secure place in our finances now that we're trying maybe to use that money to finance some creative ventures, or finance some hobbies that we've got going, or some interests that we've always wanted to do. Now we've got this extra money, or we're in a space that we're more secure in our personal resources, that we're trying to use that to get this off the ground. So you're wanting to get all this ready. Like for me, I'm also doing these YouTube videos because I love astrology, and I want to get better at it, and this is how I'm finding it. But I want a nicer camera, I want a nicer microphone, I want this, I want that, and we just need to be able to step back and make sure that it's not going to overwhelm us in our personal finances, and just take things slow. before you can run type scenario for that. We also we have this Sun opposite Uranus, which I talked about earlier. It comes exact on Halloween. This is Saturday, 31st. We are questioning where we are in our life at the moment, and questioning where do we want to be in our lives at the moment. Considering these have to do with our location, whether it's our local community or something further afar, like some kind of foreign travel or something like that. We don't know where we want to be at the moment, or we're questioning it. We want to be some kind of inner struggle between where we want to be. There's a need for self-expression in these areas as well, especially maybe with the learning. You want to be able to, or philosophy, thinking and philosophy, religious ideas as well. That could be you could be questioning that at this time as well. You will have the obviously. I think if I haven't mentioned it before, there is the blue moon, which is the second full moon in October on Halloween, Samhain. Very powerful moon, very powerful energies at this time, considering it's the in between space between our world and the spirit world, thinning. So there's a lot of spiritual energies coming into this arena. So that you got that moon up in our spiritual place as well, our religious place. So you've got the added psychic energy, the emotional thinking as well, coming into effect with in conjunction with Uranus, who wants us to be able to express ourselves, who wants us to try new things. He doesn't like the traditional way of doing things, so that could be us rethinking about where we want to be as well. So there's emotional link to that. I will link the full moon video that I'm creating, so that you can find out how we can use that moon energy at this time. And that is your week, Virgo. Sorry. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up, please. And I hope you do subscribe to my channel. I do love videos. Leave comments. Let me know where I'm going wrong, what I'm doing right.